Right, let's go to Naivasha now, where 17 members of parliament allied to Jubilee Party have condemned NASA's call for economic boycott, or rather boycott on particular goods by their supporters, saying that if they want, what they should do is to go to parliament if they want some amendments to be done. Let's listen into what they had to say.
Condemn in the strongest terms possible any attempt to export violence and incitement into our region and to other parts of Kenya. We reject in totality the reckless talk of secession and economic sabotage. Kenya is one indivisible whole under the Constitution, and our Western region will not entertain the desperate idea of dismembering our country. Western is firmly and proudly Kenya. As a people, we support Safaricom, Bidco, and Brookside as key drivers of Kenya's economy.
All right, so this is a statement by 17 Luhya members of parliament allied to Jubilee Party, and it is here in Naivasha where our reporter, senior political affairs reporter Patrick Amimo now joins us. And Patrick, what other highlights are coming off from the Luhya leaders there?
Thank you, Sharon. This particular retreat in Naivasha has just come after the repeat presidential election, where we saw the President Uhuru Kenyatta declared elect after the vote tallying. And the leaders here also came to brainstorm over the performance of Jubilee in Western region. They said they are very satisfied with the turnout that came from that region. They say it's something that was close to the August 8th repeat election. They've congratulated residents and voters in Western Kenya, the 4 counties of Western Kenya, for having come to participate in this particular election. Some of the matters they've also talked about is to do with the recent talk about the economic sabotage, which they say they are really against it, and they want also their colleagues who are in NASA, especially leader Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, to come out and declare whether they support these the economic boycott of goods from companies perceived to be supportive of government, and also whether they are supportive of secession. Remember, yesterday we saw in Coast where the governor from Mombasa and his counterpart in Kilifi, Amason Kingi, called for secession, saying that the region has not benefited from the all administration that since independence. They are of the view that maybe that region should secede. But leaders here, it appears, maybe they are against that idea. And just joining me is the Cabinet Secretary for Water and Irrigation, Eugene Wamalwa. Eugene, just looking at it, we have this talk about now we're dealing with economic sabotage and also maybe talk of secession. What is your take as leaders from Western Kenya?
I believe what we're seeing now is a brand of retrogressive politics. Politics that would take the country back, politics that would ruin our economy. As we speak, our economy has taken some serious beating. Really, it's almost a breaking point, and we need to do something. So the last thing we can do is subject it further to economic sabotage, and the boycotts that we are hearing would hurt the economy further. And we are looking for how we can make this country attractive to investors. So when we start hitting some of our biggest investors in this country, we make Kenya less attractive. When at the time when we need more investors here, we need more companies open so that we create jobs. And I believe even those who are saying they will boycott Bidco goods, they boycott Safaricom, they have not looked at the implications. Who are the employees in those companies? Who are working in Bidco? You'll be surprised that the majority of employees are actually from Western Kenya. So really what we're challenging some of our brothers is to come out and say, really, how is this going to help the country? We have ways of resolving issues as a country. We have a constitution, and as the former Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, I've always said, hi katiba inatiba. Whatever they're trying to raise can be resolved by this constitution and within the existing constitutional legal framework. Instead of going secession, going NRM, going economic sabotage, it's really retrogressive as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you so much, Waziri CS Eugene Wamalwa. Just maybe lastly, just to have the Speaker from from the Senate just to tell us, because we are talking reforms, and maybe, Speaker, some of these matters, maybe how will Parliament maybe come into on board when about this reform talk and probably these issues to do with economic sabotage and secession?
In fact, I want to take this opportunity to invite members of Parliament, senators, because we are starting our sessions on Tuesday, and that's going to be a forum where we can engage about some of these reforms that we're talking about. Forget about issues of tyranny of numbers. I think when they come to the Assembly, we look at this country as one, as senators, as members of the National Assembly and the Senate. So I really want to challenge them that they abandon the path they took last time when we started, that, they are not attending sessions, they were making technical appearances, to come to the Assembly so that we can talk about these reforms that we want our country to move forward. Because that is what the Constitution says. Unless we are saying that, in August, when members of Parliament and senators were elected, we have now absconded our responsibility to go back now to the streets and say, let's take that path. But I think we have not reached there. I want to challenge them to come to the Assembly so that we can be able to talk about reforms and move our country forward.
Thank you so much. That's the Speaker of the Senate, Kenneth Lusaka, just trying to share with us some of his the concerns about the economics, talks about economic sabotage and secession. We know very well that NASA said that they'll be moving forward to consolidate people assemblies, and is of the view that maybe Parliament should be a place where they can discuss some of those issues of concern in the nation, and is promising that when matters come before Parliament, he will ensure that there is a level playing field, and tyranny of numbers will not allow it to occur. So that is something, the promise from the Senate Speaker as Parliament reopens next week, Tuesday.
Right. Many thanks. Many thanks, Patrick Amimo.